Hello, this is Phil, KA8ZKR, once again, and this is going to be part 2 of my discussion about building data files for the APRS-IS program. So this is the position files. So this is for the APRS-IS program, and we'll go ahead and have a look at that again. Just a recap of where we were yesterday. So we built a GPX file to lay out the route for a 10K race that Air Force Marathon runs in conjunction with the Air Force Marathon. And to add a position file or points of interest onto the file, we would go to the overlays and we would add a POS file. But let's go ahead and look at the build of that before we add that in. So we'll look at one of the files here, and this is the station positions file for the Air Force Marathon. Now this file that I have on display here has got all the locations for all of the different races that the marathon runs, but we can look at some that will fit just for the 10K race, and you'll see all that populate in as soon as we load this file. But if we scroll down in the file here and we look towards the bottom, we see that there's some that are specifically labeled for the 10K, and so that's what these markers here indicate. And this file is a simple text file, but it is labeled on the end with a .pos extension, and that's one of the keys to making this work. So simple text file. I'm editing this in WordPad. You can edit it in whatever text editor that you like. You could use Microsoft Word. You could use the simple text pad to edit these files. And it's just, the only critical thing is that you get the structure in here right. And there's other examples that you can find online of these files, and that will help. I'm pretty sure there's going to be some documentation with the APRS-IS program as well that would show what the structure of these files is. One thing I want to note that's I discovered the hard way, and maybe it's in the documentation, I just never found it, but the label that you have up front here is limited to 9 characters, and that includes the space that's in the middle here. If you go any more than 9 characters, it simply won't display on the map, and it won't give you an error message or anything. It just won't display. So you have to be sure to keep this brief, keep this 9 characters or less, and then it'll display on the map. The exclamation point there is a separator, delimiter, and then you have the latitude and longitude, and so that's indicated by degrees, minutes, and then there's another separator here, and then you have the longitude, and then on the very end here is your designation for what the icon is that you're going to put up on the map. And in the example that I'm using here, this capital W, capital A, and that'll give us a big plus sign to indicate medical stations. For the ones down here, you see a W and a capital W and a small w, and that's going to give us a little symbol that says H2O on it, and that's for the water stations or hydration stations. And so that's why that's labeled as such. some of these others, and this is just a label here, and these are labels for the various gates that we have at the museum, and that will show up if we turn on the appropriate um, markers in the file that we load. So let's go ahead and load this file up now that we've done a look at the structure of this, just to show how this shows up in the system. So we go to configure, we go to overlays, we go to add POS Marathon 2023, and we're going to load the station positions. So we'll open that up. The little dialog box opens up here. And when you're loading in station positions, so you can see they've kind of populated in here. There's a start, there's a finish, there's a main medical tent. There's these H2O stations, that's the water stations. And these are like indicating the museum gate. Here's a base gate. This is a spinning road gate down here. We want to make sure and turn on comment. That'll add in an additional line of text. You can see, turn that off, that additional line of text disappears. So however you want to use that, you can add in or uncheck it and have it disappear. So we go ahead and hit accept, and those position indication files are loaded in. Now let's go ahead and add in the mile markers, and let's look at the mile marker stations just real quickly. So here's the mile markers for all of the Air Force Marathon courses. And this first one up here, so this is for the full, the half, the 10K, and it's the mile 1 marker. And I've just got some extra text in here to annotate where that is. So this is a structure. It's the same structure, same text file type of file that you have for the other positions of interest. So that's just a quick look at what we've got for all the files. And let's go ahead and add that in. Have a look at that. So we just go back and we're going to add another position file. And the mileposts is what we're looking for. We hit open, and the mileposts get populated in. So we'll go ahead and click on the comment there and hit accept. And now the mileposts, mile markers are added in. This is the 1 mile point. And there's sometimes the text, we zoomed in too much. The computer reacted a little bit slower than I was scrolling the mouse wheel. Back out one more time. There we go. So when you zoom out too far, some of the text gets lost from what the mileposts are. But here you can see, there's mile marker 1. This is 10K, it's mile 2, 10K mile 3, and so on and so forth. And you see all of the other items of interest that we wanted to load into the map are indicated here. The base gates, the hydration stations, the medical aid stations. Over here, the start and finish lines. So these are all loaded into the map. Now, how do we? Here's kind of the tricky or thing of how you can adjust things that you want to show up on the map. So let's say, for instance, we had something on the corner here. This is E Street and 10th Street, and we wanted to add a point there. So we'll go ahead and bring up our station positions, And we're going to go ahead and add something in on the bottom that we'll call um, another medical station. We'll use this as a sample to copy from. So we'll go down to the bottom of the page, and you can add this in anywhere. It doesn't have to be in any particular order. It all just gets put in. So instead of calling this Med November, we're going to call it New Med, and we're going to be very careful to keep our character limit down. And we already discussed where we wanted it. Now here's the trick about how to figure out where that is going to be. So you get your crosshairs, and what you want to do is very carefully put the crosshairs where you want your point to appear. So right there, we put the crosshairs East Street and 10th Street. Down here in the left-hand corner, we see the latitude, longitude of the center of the crosshairs. So when we bring our data file back, all we have to do, referencing the numbers here, so 3947.06 north, we adjust the numbers in the file here, 3747.06 north, and 08405.68. Okay, and so now the file has been adjusted with that new data point in there. So we'll hit save so that we've got a file to go grab. We'll go back to our overlays, the file with the stations. It's the one that we adjusted. So we want to reload that, so we're going to delete the file that's currently in there. Yes, we really want to delete it. And then this standard little warning box comes up, and we just ignore that. And we go back, overlays, add position file, station positions, open, toss in the comment box, hit accept, and boom, there's our station with our chosen label on it and the icon. And the icons, you can figure out what the icons are. Just go to Google and type in APRS icons, and it'll give you the tables that tell you what all of the different codes are for the different icons. You can see that when we added this, WA with the capital A, and that's this blue, plus symbol. So we're using that as our, medical, or I use it as the indication for the medical aid stations. That is, in a nutshell, how it's done. It's pretty simple. Once you got this file built, and you just keep tweaking it, and there you go. There's your position stations. As simple as that.